Great evening, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining us again on another exciting upgrade mastery just for you. Yes, this is the upgrade mastery just for you with Mr. Upgrade, and I'm super excited about doing this again. Yes, this is another Friday. Yes, and on the upgrade mastery just for you, every Fridays we basically just get to relax, share our experiences from the week, the things that we've learned, the challenges we've faced, and how we've been able to overcome all of those things. So these are the things that we look at in the upgrade mastery just for you, and we get to take your questions. So if you have questions whatsoever you would love to ask, this is the point where you get to send in your questions, and we'll be glad to take them with you and to take them for you, right? So feel free to send in your questions. We'll gladly take them. So, how was your week? How have you been this week? Yeah, we're gradually coming to the end of the month of May, but we're not there yet, right? This is the month that May is amazing, right? So, how's May been for you so far? What has happened for you? What were the things that you've been able to do? What were the challenges you faced? How were you able to overcome those challenges? Let us know how May has been amazing for you. And if perhaps May has not been amazing yet, relax. There's still some left in May, and May will still turn out to be amazing. Don't even stress yourself. May will still turn out to be very amazing for you. So tell me, how have you been? How's the month been for you? What's been happening on your end? What are the challenges you've been facing? What's new? What's new for you? What's new? What's it like for you? What's it like for you generally? Right? What's it like for you? Tell me. Tell me. I like to know. I really would love to know what's it like for you in the month of May. Do want to leave a comment and so that we can share, because you never know what you have overcome, maybe what someone else is going through, and your testimony would just encourage them to know that yes, they too can go through that and still come out in one piece. Now, should in case you were not here last week we had a on some simple life hacks, right? And we shared a few things that I feel love you need to go back and pay attention to those things. What we talked about last week, the simple life hacks that you need, right? I really wish I could get into them again this week and talk about them, but I'm not going to do that because I want you to go back and watch that while we'll continue from where we left off last week. I think last week we shared about three simple life hacks that you need, right? So today, this week, we're going to continue from there. And before we get into the conversation, let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know what we are going to be, what we are going to be looking at today. If you have any questions, let's take a few questions first before we get into what we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to be talking about simple life hacks, and we're going to be doing the part two. Sometimes we get to do the continuation so that we can continue what we started so everybody can really understand it in depth, right? Last time out, we started the conversation, we shared some amazing points that I feel you should go back and listen to again. Just listen to them again. Just do a refresher listening so that you can remind yourself of some of the things that you heard that really is a simple way to just hack your life. Learning things that would hack your life would just make you enjoy your journey in life. And today, we're going to continue from where we left off last time, because this is the part two of simple life hacks. These are simple things that you can practice that will just make life even more interesting, more exciting, more effortless for you in your journey. So, tonight or today or this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depending on what part of the world you're watching this from, we're going to begin simple life hack part two. I will start off with a very interesting hack that you need to change how your life goes for you. So simple life hack part two, the very first thing you must need, that you must practice, is sacrifice. Now, That's the very first thing you need, right? Sacrifice. You know, why this is important is because there are some things you can never attain if you don't put in the sacrifice, right? I say this all the time, and I say sacrifice is what makes you become satisfied. The sacrifice that you can put in, the sacrifice you can make that will make you become satisfied at the end of the day. So, to hack your life, you must be willing to make sacrifices, right? And not just making sacrifice for yourself, be willing to make sacrifices for others. That's how you hack your life, because we live in a world where many times we are very, very self-centered. We focus on me, myself, and I. What can I gain? What can I do? What can I achieve? It's all about the me's, not enough us and we's. I get in this. So it's all about me, 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 me. Not enough us, not enough we's. So in hacking your life, you must understand the place of sacrifice. First, not just for sacrifice for yourself alone, but sacrifices for others. Remember, I told you, whatever you do for yourself stays with you, it ends with you, it dies with you. But whatever you do for others, it outlives you. Now, that's the place where sacrifice comes into play, the sacrifice for others. Because you see, sometimes all that will change everything for you is the sacrifice you're willing to make for another person, right? Willing to go outside of your comfort zone, willing to go the extra mile for another person. That is you hacking your life. Because see, when you do this, it shows that you are living life beyond just for yourself, right? And I always say this all the time: all the love you give away will always find its way back to you. I'll say that again. All the love you give away will always find its way back to you. So the sacrifices you are making, trust me, you are going to reap the reward. And I always say this: you may not reap where you sow, but you always reap what you sow. Because a lot of people say, oh, what if I put in so much here and I don't get it back from where I'm putting it in? Always remember this: you will not reap where you sow, but you always reap what you sow. So the focus is what you're sowing, and sacrifice is part of what you are sowing. You're sowing. Many times, what you are even sowing may look like the Chinese bamboo. Remember the story of the Chinese bamboo that doesn't show any sign of growth for 5 years. But in the fifth week, in 5 years, it grows 90 feet. So sometimes, whatever effort you're putting, it may look like you're just putting water on the rock, but you're not. Guess what? You're making impact, you're making progress, and it will all come together sooner rather than later. So be willing to make the sacrifice. That's the first simple way for you to hack your life. You're willing to make the sacrifice, which means when you're making sacrifice, guess what happens? Number one, you must be willing to take risks. I say this all the time, right? By now you should have gotten used to I say this all the time. But the truth is this: I say this all the time. Risk is the new safe. If you want to be safe, take risk. Did you get that? Risk is the new safe. If you want to be safe, take risk. And sacrifice is actually a risk. You know, sometimes I just tell people that risk is 50-50. 50% it will work, 50% it will not work. But that's why the risk. Because sometimes the people always want to know, what's the assurance? How do I know that this will work? What's the guarantee? When it comes to risk, guys, in hacking your life, when it comes to risk, there is no guarantee. But it is worth taking. Remember when Jesus turned water to wine in the wedding feast at Cana, right? They are run out of wine. Mary came to Jesus and said, "You don't have wine." And Jesus said, "My time has not come." And Mary said, "I'm not going to bother you." But the servants, she told them, "Whatever I tell you to do, do it." Now, guess what, guys? The moment Jesus heard that. He knew that these guys were willing to take risk. He called the servant and said, okay, how many pots do we have there? They told them they have 6 pots. He said, okay, fill all those pots with water. And then when they have done filling with water, he told them, now draw from the pot and take to the master of ceremony. Now that is a risk. Now, if the servants were not the ones who fetched the water, they may have thought, okay, probably somebody had put in wine and nobody was aware. They fetched the water. They knew it was water. They put it in the pots. They knew it was water. Now they took out from the pot. There was no chemical added. There was no prayer made on the water. There was nothing on the water. Yet they are taking this same water to the master of ceremony. That's a risk. That's a risk. And then they gave the master of ceremony. And then he drank it. They knew what had happened. They knew the whole process. And then the master of ceremony stopped and said, wow, how do you save your best wine for the last? At that point, they were like, what just happened? That is what happens when you learn to take risks. That's what happens. You see, faith is actually you willing to take risks. Because Hebrews 11:1 tells us that now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It says, by it, the elders, they obtained a good report. What does that let you know? See, in hacking your life, you must be willing to take risks. That's part of the sacrifice you will have to make. Be willing to take risks. Are the results guaranteed? Nope. But you must be willing to take the risk. Because you see, you never know what will happen if you don't take the risk. Thank you so much for that, Williams Harry. Risk is the new safe. Trust me, risk is the new safe. You must be willing to take risk. You must be willing to take risk. You have no idea. And if you want to hack your life, guess what, guys? You must make the sacrifice. And one way to make sacrifice is to take risk. It's to take risk. Don't sit down in your comfort chair and just expecting things to just magically happen. It doesn't work that way. See, let me tell you this, and I'll be very sincere with you. In your comfort zone, anything goes, but nothing grows. And nothing great ever comes out from the seats of comfort. Nothing great. Nothing great. Nothing great comes out from the seats of comfort. So you must be willing to take risks. That's how you hack your life. You take risks. You take risks. So the first thing to do to hack your life is to take risks. Right? And this is under making sacrifice, because that risk is a sacrifice. That risk is a sacrifice. The second thing that happens when you're taking sacrifice and you want to hack your life in simple life hacks, sacrifice. And the first thing in sacrifice is risk. The second thing in sacrifice is rejection. Right? It's rejection. So true. You may not reap where you sow, but you always reap what you sow. Exactly. Right? It's rejection. Now, let me tell you how this plays out. You see, many times, you get to try something and then you get rejected. Right? Probably you are not accepted. Probably you are not called upon. You get rejected. And you know, the truth is this: rejection hurts. No one wants to be rejected. No one ever wants to feel that pain of rejection. But you see, making the sacrifice, right? And now you are rejected. But this way, it changes everything for you. Don't personalize the rejection. Don't make the rejection make you look at yourself and like, oh, you're not good enough. Oh, you're not worthy. Oh, you are not capable. No. What you do with the rejection is that you take it as part of the lessons for your journey and you move on. You know, I made some mistakes in my journey, right? Financially, made some bad investments financially, right? And I have learned from those mistakes, right? I've learned from those mistakes. In fact, I was having a conversation with someone today, and the person said something, and I just laughed. I'm like, okay, I was here many years ago. It's okay, no problem. You take your own risk at your own time, right? You take your own risk at your own time. Like I said in the Come Close to Upgrade today, I talked about is exposure that gives you perspective. There are certain things you're exposed to that now give you some perspective you never would have had if you're not exposed to those things. Right? I've had some exposure to some bad investments. Now, give me a perspective about investment. But would that stop me from making investments? No. Let's circle back to our rejection, our part of rejection. So when you get rejected, don't personalize it. Right? When you personalize rejection, that's when it puts you down. That's why it puts shackles on your feet and keeps you locked down because you personalize the rejection. Don't personalize rejection. Take it as one of those things and move on. It's part of the sacrifice you have to make. You've been rejected somewhere else, go somewhere else again. Right? Like you say jokingly, the doors that you were rejected from, come back and buy the building. But the truth is this, you must never personalize rejection. Right? It took you a lot to even make that effort, and now you are rejected. It's okay. Add it to your badge of honor and move on. That's a simple way to hack your life because rejection many times are redirection. So sometimes when you're rejected for something, it's God using that to redirect you to something else, which you would never have considered if you were never rejected. Are we still here? Is this making sense? So understand this. This is what plays out when you hack your life. You make sacrifices, but sometimes you still experience rejection. But should that stop you? Never let it. It will only stop you when you personalize it. Don't personalize rejection. I say this to people all the time, right? I say, if people don't know you personally, don't take whatever they do personally. If people don't know you personally, don't take whatever they do to you personal. They reject you, no problem. Life goes on. It's not personal. It's not personal. If you really know me, you probably will never reject me. Well, because you don't know me, it's okay. So it's not personal. Don't personalize rejection. To hack your life, don't personalize rejection. You apply for a position, you don't get it. Don't personalize rejection. Move on. Move on. When you personalize rejection, it keeps you locked down. It keeps you locked down. Right? It keeps you locked down. So don't personalize rejection. Just move on. Just move on. Right? And now, the third thing that happens to you when you're making sacrifices to hack your life, get used to reception. Get used to reception. Now, what do I mean when I say get used to reception? You know, sometimes, right? Now you're making sacrifices. Now people are trying to commend you and applaud you and appreciate you. You're trying to deflect it and say, no. You're trying to be humble. No. That is not humility. That is humility, right? Humility is you accepting the fact that yes, you are being commended for what you're doing, and yes, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes when people tell you, "Oh, you're doing an amazing work," receive it with grace and like, good, yes, it's okay. Have great reception towards the sacrifices you are making. Don't try to push it up and say, yeah, nah, Becky, you're just trying to whine me. No, no, no. They're actually complimenting you. Get used to receiving those reception with grace. Don't talk it down. Don't say, I beg you, I beg, I beg, I beg. No, 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 no. Don't get callous like that. Don't talk it down. Be open to receiving those reception. It helps you. It helps you to hack your life. It helps you. Right? It's not you being proud because of what you're doing, but it just helps you. Again, it just helps you to just stay sane. It just helps you. Are we still together? Is this making sense for you? So, simple life hack number one is sacrifice. And when it comes to sacrifice, you must learn to take risks. You must understand rejection. Don't personalize it. And then you must get good with receiving reception. When people commend you, when people applaud you, when people celebrate you, get comfortable receiving it. You earned it. You earned it. Stop saying, no, this is not. No, no, no. Don't do that. You've earned it. Receive it with grace. Receive it with dignity. Receive it in humility. You have earned it. That's how you hack your life when you're making sacrifices. Because see, when you're making sacrifices, sometimes people just like, man, I see the effort you're putting in. Kudos, man. I celebrate you. I appreciate you. I like, I beg you, it's one of those things. No, no, no. Receive it with grace. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Let's appreciate the fact that your sacrifice is being recognized. Don't talk it down. Don't make the person regret even commending you. I know that just kept quiet. No. Appreciate it in how you receive it. Do you get that? Okay, so that's the first part when it comes to the simple life hack part two. The first thing is sacrifice. The next thing is very interesting, and that is solve problems. Solve problems. One of the simple way to hack your life is to solve problems. Now, I know a lot of times people will always say, but if I did not create the problem, why do I have to bother myself in solving it? Are you getting this? If I did not create the problem, why do I have to solve it? It's not my business. I didn't create it. Why do I have to solve it? I didn't create it. Why do I have to solve it? Now, this is what I always tell people. See, the truth is this: any Tom, Dick, and Harry, or Tom, Dick, and Ikechi, whatever, can create a problem. But it takes someone who is different to solve problems. And one simple way to hack your life is to have the mentality of problem solving. See, this is like if you want to be rich, solve problems for rich people. Yeah, if you want to be rich, solve problems for rich people. Solve rich man's problem, you get rich, you earn rich man's reward for solving the problem. So the question now is, do you solve problems? That's the question. Do you solve problems? Because when you are solving problems, guess what? You are having a different mentality altogether. A mentality that is fixated on problem solving, not a mentality of talking about the problem, but a mentality of solving the problem. A mentality of solving the problem. So solve problems. That's how you hack your life. You're solving problems. Are you the one that caused the problem? It is not necessarily important if you are the cause. What's important is that you get it solved. Because the truth is this, you are either solving the problem or you are part of the problem to be solved. Did you get that? You are either solving the problem or you are now part of the problem to be solved. So for you not to be part of the problem to be solved, then you should be solving the problem. So you get into a space and you see that something is not right. You should not complain. You should complain and solve the problem. Do you need to know who caused the problem? Is not important. Get it solved. So you live your life with a mindset of problem solving because you solve problems. You don't create problems, you solve problems. Are you getting it? You don't create problems, you solve problems. Yeah, problem solving in your thinking. So to hack your life, you're always thinking problem solving. You get into a space, there's a problem, you're thinking problem solving. You are in a space and they tell you about the problem, you're thinking of problem solving. That's how you hack your own life. That way, you are above challenges because you are solving them. So when somebody mentions something is not going right, instead of joining the person to complain about the thing not going right, guess what you're doing? You're thinking of what can be done to make the thing start going right. You've hacked your life. See, among the few people who are problem solving and not the bunch who are talking about the problem. You know, if you live in Nigeria, for instance, any and everybody can talk about the problem. Bad government, this is not working, there's no electricity, there's no water, there is no this, there's no that, there. So many things. Like even a 5-year-old can give you a list of the problems in Nigeria. So everybody is fixated on the problems. Nobody is putting attention to the solution. No one is trying to solve the problem. But you're saying, no, but I'm too small. How do I solve a nation's problem? You solve a nation's problem by solving the little problem in your own space. If everybody solves the problem in their own space, there will not be a nation's problem to solve. Think about it. If each and every one of us, we solve our problems in our own space, there will not be a nation problem to solve. So guess what? You start off by solution thinking. In solving problems, you begin with solution thinking. You are not problem thinking, you are solution thinking. You're not problem thinking, you are solution thinking. And guess what? One thing that a lot of people do not even realize is this, is how interesting solving problem is an act of service. An act of service. You know, when Peter and John met the man by the beautiful gate in Acts chapter 5. Sorry, Acts chapter 3. Acts chapter 5 is the next chapter. Acts chapter 3. Peter and John were going to the temple at the hour of prayer to pray. And then they met the man by the beautiful gate who had always been there all his life, close to 40 years, always asking for alms. Right? Now, remember, we're talking about having the solution thinking, not problem thinking. Right? So when they met the man, or when the man saw them, the man reached out intending to get alms from them. And then Peter stopped and said, Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have, give I unto thee. Now at that point, Peter was thinking solution. Because even if he gave him silver and gold, the man will still be there. Because the man had been getting silver and gold from people for the past 40 years he had been there. He had been getting silver and gold. He was at the beautiful gate, but his life was not beautiful. But he was getting silver and gold from people. But Peter, with a solution thinking, remember, solution thinking to hack your life, you're solving problems. Peter, with the solution thinking, met him and said, silver or gold have I none, but such as I have, give I thee. In the name of Jesus, rise up and walk. And Peter and John, they strengthened him up, and his legs received strength, and he could walk for the first time in 40 years. Solution thinking. What's the kind of thinking that you have? Is it problem thinking or solution thinking? If you are thinking solution, you will be solving problems. Because the truth is, there are problems all around you. And what makes you significant is the problems you are solving. I said it earlier. You are either solving a problem or you are part of the problem to be solved. There are no middle grounds. It's either you are solving the problem or you are now part of the problem that others will not solve. And if you're going to hack your life, one of the simple ways to hack your life is solve problems. And like I told you, you don't have to be the one who created the problem for you to solve it. As long as there is a problem, solve it. Now, if you can solve problems you didn't create, when you create problems, don't you know you should solve it? Are you getting this? If you solve problems that you did not create, when you now create problems, don't you know that it behoves on you to now solve it? So it's interesting to note that a simple way to hack your life is to solve problems. You must be solving problems. Have the problem mentality. The problem solving mentality. Have that mentality. Are you getting this? Have the problem solving mentality. That's a simple way to hack your life. This is making sense. Now, when you have the problem solving mentality, you are doing this because it's an act of service. Guess what happens to you? You have satisfaction. How many of you have ever felt satisfied when you see that you have just solved the problem? Have you ever felt that satisfaction? Have you ever felt that satisfaction? You know you have just solved a problem. Ever felt that satisfaction? See, there's a certain kind of satisfaction that problem solving gives that cannot be gotten any other way. I'll say that again. There's a certain kind of satisfaction that solving a problem gives that can never be gotten any other way. You know, there's a certain kind of satisfaction you have when you are really hungry and then they give you the food that you are craving for. It says that there's a certain kind of satisfaction you have. For those of you who are foodies, when you are craving a particular kind of meal and you have been hungry and they give you that meal, oh my God, it feels like heaven. You know, you have been singing, just like heaven on it. There's a certain satisfaction it gives you, right? There's a certain satisfaction you get when you see some kind of alert in your account. Don't get had that satisfaction from Allah. Yeah. You just see money in your account. There's a certain satisfaction you get. Right? There's a certain satisfaction you get. For those people who are married, there's a certain satisfaction you get in your honeymoon. You have waited. You waited for your honey. You waited for this honey, and now you're in the honeymoon. There's a certain satisfaction you get. The same way, there's a certain satisfaction you get when you are solving problems. Trust me, there's a certain satisfaction you get when you solve problems. So solving problems is not just doing things that is not of no business to you. You know, like they say, you're putting your mouth in everybody's issue. No. That's not what solving problem is. You say not concern you. No. Solving problem is not about whether I concern you or not concern you. Solving problem is about fixing things that can be fixed. Right? It's about having the solution mentality. It's about rendering service. Because if it could have been solved before you came, they could have solved it. So it's about rendering service. And then it also gives you a certain kind of satisfaction. You know, there's a certain kind of satisfaction you get when you see your results as a student and you see the kind of grades you've always anticipated. You see all A's. There's a certain kind of satisfaction you have. And then all the effort paid off, all the midnight candle paid off. You have that kind of satisfaction. There's any kind of satisfaction you get when you are a newlywed and you have waited to finally do the do. There's any kind of satisfaction you get. There's any kind of satisfaction you get when you have been hungry and they give you the meal that you are craving. There's a certain kind of satisfaction you get. The same way, there's a certain kind of satisfaction you get when you are solving problems. Yeah, you feel satisfied knowing that you have brought a solution to a problem that have always been there. And not just a solution in words, a solution in action, and you have seen the impact of the solution already. You have this satisfaction that cannot be gotten anywhere else. You know, as humans, we crave satisfaction in a lot of things. We just want to feel satisfied. We just want to feel satisfied. See, one easy way to get satisfaction is to be solving problems, because solving problems brings satisfaction. Are you getting this? Solving problems gives you a certain level of satisfaction. And this is a simple life hack. Hack your life by solving problems. A solution thinking, a solution mentality, right? See it as an act of service. We've always told you this. Service is giving up of yourself faithfully towards the attainment of a goal without expectation of reward. See it as an act of service. And when you do that, it gives you a certain level of satisfaction that you would not get any other way else. Satisfaction. Are we still together? Is this making sense? Great. Now, the third simple way to hack your life, and this is what we'll call this a day for today. The third simple way to hack your life, right? The third simple way to hack your life is this: the consciousness of goodness and mercy. You know, looking at this third way to hack your life is the easiest to do, but is the hardest to do. I'll say that again. Is the easiest to do, but it's also the hardest to do. Do you get that? Let me say that again. The consciousness of goodness and mercy is the easiest, but it's also the hardest. And let me explain. Let me explain so that you guys can get this. Let me explain. You know, Psalm 23, in verse 6, it says, surely goodness and mercy follows you all the days of your life. Surely. Now, when scripture says surely, it's not saying by chance, it's not saying by mistake, it's not saying a few times. It means as surely as it is, goodness and mercy follows you. Now, the challenge with this is that not many people have the consciousness of goodness and mercy. How do I explain this? Goodness is you experiencing the things that you don't deserve. That's goodness. Mercy is you being protected from the consequences that you deserve. That's mercy. And it says, surely goodness and mercy follows you. What you now need to do to hack your life is to have this consciousness that anywhere I go, goodness, mercy follows me. Are you getting this? Goodness, mercy, they follow me anywhere I go. So, which means when I'm going through a tough time, I should remind myself that goodness and mercy are with me. So this tough time will not last. It's just a consciousness. It's just knowing that regardless of how things go, I would enjoy goodness, I will enjoy mercy. I remember what I explained earlier. Goodness is you receiving what you don't even deserve. Mercy is you being protected from the consequences of things that you deserve. So having this consciousness helps to hack your life. Then as you go through life, you have goodness, you have mercy. Things may look like they are difficult. You remember that you have goodness. Things may look like they are going out of hand. You remember that you have mercy. These two things are with you always. Always. See, there's a way this changes everything for you, just knowing that this is what it is. You know, scripture says, oh, give thanks to the Lord for his good, that's goodness, and his mercy endures forever. See that again. Oh, give thanks to the Lord for his good, and his mercy endures forever. Which means goodness and mercy are like Siamese twins. You can't separate them. So you can't have mercy and not have goodness. You can't have goodness and not have mercy. They are Siamese twins. They go hand in glove. They go together. So when you see goodness, you see mercy. When you see mercy, you see goodness. They are together. I say this all the time. We're in this together. So goodness and mercy are always with you. No wonder scripture tells us in Romans 8:28 that all things work together for good. Goodness for good. To them that love God and to them who are the called according to his purpose. What does that tell you? Romans 8:28. All things work together for good. Not some things, not few things, all things. That's a reminder that goodness and mercy, they follow you. Now, knowing this is a simple hack for your life. Meaning that no matter what I go through, no matter the challenges I face, no matter the difficulties that arise, I have goodness and I have mercy. So I can never be stranded. I can never be without help. I can never be alone because I have goodness, I have mercy. This consciousness changes a lot of things for you. You know, it's interesting to note that the more things you are conscious of, the more of those things you experience. When you are conscious of fears, guess what? You have nightmares. You experience things that would scare you because that's what you are conscious of. That's why I said earlier that this is the easiest, but it's also the hardest. Many times we are too conscious of the things that are going south, the things that are not working, the things that are wrong, the things that are bad. But we are not conscious of goodness and mercy. Goodness and mercy seems like an afterthought. It's not like what we are always conscious of. Let me give you an example that you can easily relate with. You know, when you go and buy something, right, and then you swipe your card, right? When you swipe your card, you make payment. Sometimes the debit text message doesn't come early, right? So you swipe your card, you move on, and you go about your day. Later, when the debit text message now come to your phone, it dawns on you again that you have spent XYZ amount. Now, that's what happens to a lot of people. They are many times conscious of the things they have done wrong. They are many times conscious of their inadequacies. They are many times conscious of their shortcomings. They are conscious of their flaws. They are conscious of the wrong things. And then they see evidence to buttress that consciousness. But now flip it. It's time to be conscious about what you should be conscious about. And let's flip it again. Now, you know, this was the problem that the elder brother to the prodigal son had. He was not conscious of goodness and mercy. He wasn't conscious of it. That's why he told his father when the father had made a feast for his brother who had returned home. He said, "You have never even given me a baby goat for me to celebrate with my friends." And the father said something very striking. The father said, "All I have is yours. You do not even need to ask." But the reason why he felt the way he felt was because he was not conscious of goodness and mercy. Goodness of the fact that all the father had was his already. And when the father shared his inheritance, he shared it between him and his brother who took his and left. So he was not conscious of his goodness. He was not even conscious of mercy too. That's why he acted the way he acted. You can go and watch that story. We had a full session on that, on the prodigal father, the elder brother syndrome, and the prodigal son itself. We had a full series on that earlier in the year, right? On this Upgrade Mastery Just for You on YouTube here. You can go and watch it. It's there. We explain all of those things. What am I saying here for you to understand is this: you must be conscious of goodness and mercy. Yes, you may have done some things wrong that you know you did wrong, but the mercy of God still prevails over judgment. The prodigal son actually left home. He wasted his father's inheritance. He was now begging and he was now feeding with swine. But yet, when he came back home, mercy still prevailed. The consciousness of goodness and mercy. It is the easiest way to hack your life, but it's also the hardest thing people ever do. Because we are always conscious of what's wrong. We are always conscious of punishment. We're always conscious of the wrong things. We are never conscious of goodness and mercy. Scripture reminds us that he daily loads us with benefit. That's goodness. In the Lord's Prayer, he taught us, give us each day our daily bread. That's goodness. Every day you are expected to expect daily portion from his goodness. Because his goodness and his mercy, they endures forever. David said in the Psalms, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, goodness, and his mercy endures forever." You know the popular song we sing back in the day, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning." So every day, you have your portion of goodness and mercy. Every day. Every single day, you have your portion of goodness and mercy. Every single day. But you are not conscious of it. That's why you don't enjoy it as you should. That's why you don't enjoy it as you should. You know, there's something that happens when your consciousness is on goodness and mercy. You just know that every day you are favored. Every day you enjoy the mercy of God, even when you don't deserve it. That's why it's mercy. Because goodness gives you what you deserve. Goodness gives you what you don't deserve. That's why it's goodness. You don't deserve it, but you get it. That's why it's goodness. Mercy, you deserve it, but mercy about it. So, having this consciousness, just have a way it hacks your life for you. Knowing that you enjoy goodness, you enjoy mercy. It doesn't matter what your reality looks like, but your consciousness will affect that reality. Consciousness of goodness and mercy. You just know that I can never be without help. I don't know where the help will come from, but I can never be without help. I can never be stranded. It's just the consciousness of goodness and mercy. And that's a simple, easy way to hack your life. Having the consciousness of goodness and mercy. Having the consciousness of goodness and mercy. Right? Having the consciousness of goodness and mercy. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good and his mercies endures forever. So all I have to do now, as I hack my life, is to have that consciousness of goodness and mercy. And consciousness of his goodness. And consciousness of his mercy. And consciousness of it. I'm just conscious of it. Right? I'm just conscious of it. You know, in scripture, when the Ark of the Covenant was put in Obed-Edom's house, scripture says that Obed-Edom's house prospered. David had to say, no, I have to bring the covenant, the ark of the covenant about it. The one who was not a believer, who didn't have anything special with God, he enjoyed goodness and mercy. Now, let me explain what you guys may not have paid attention to. You know, when they were carrying the Ark of the Covenant, and the Ark shaked a bit, and Uzzah tried to steady the Ark with his hands, and he died. God killed him. So because of that, they say, okay, this one that the Ark is killing people, let's just drop it in Obed-Edom's house. So perhaps whatever happens to Obed-Edom, no wahala. And they left the Ark there. And for the period where the ark was in Obed-Edom's house for 3 months, Obed-Edom's house prospered. That was him enjoying goodness and mercy. Now, if Obed-Edom, who was not a believer like you, who did not even have the consciousness of goodness and mercy, yet he enjoyed goodness and mercy, because first he didn't die. That's mercy. Because somebody else tried to steady the ark and he died. Obed-Edom didn't die. In fact, they put the ark in his house, so at least whatever happened to his family and him, nothing spoiled. But they enjoyed mercy. God preserved them. And then they enjoyed goodness. God prospered them. How much more you, who have been bought with the price of his blood, how much more you enjoying goodness and mercy? If Obed-Edom, who didn't have the consciousness, could enjoy it, how much more you that have the consciousness? How much more you? So this is something that I want you to leave here with, knowing that you enjoy goodness and mercy anywhere you go. You don't have to look like it, but you enjoy it. Some people are saying, oh, why is everybody just favoring you? Why is it that everybody just seems to like you? Tell them this. I enjoy goodness and mercy anywhere I go. I have that consciousness. I enjoy it. It's follow come for me now. Because he says, surely goodness and mercy follows you. And someone rightly would say, even if you don't know any of the angels that is assigned to your life, at least you know 2 angels assigned to your life. Angel goodness and angel mercy, they are assigned to you. So in case you don't know any angel, so you don't know your angels, I know 2 of your angels. Two. Goodness and mercy, they follow you. You have your own protocol, your own divine protocol from heaven. Goodness and mercy follow you everywhere you go. You're just enjoying favor. It surrounds you like a shield. It will cover you from now. That is goodness. That's goodness. And then mercy. Even the things that you have done wrong, God still shows you mercy because mercy prevails over judgment. See these guys. If you don't learn anything from this, learn this, that you must have the consciousness of goodness and mercy. So this is simple life hacks part 2. And I shared with you just 3 things that would help you in this part 2. 3 things. Number 1, sacrifice. And I told you how to make those sacrifices. Number 1, take risk. Do not personalize rejection. And have the right reception. When people commend you, when people appreciate you, accept it. Accept it. Have the right reception. And then number 2, solve problems. Be solution thinking, not problem thinking. Be solution thinking. How do we fix this? How does this work? Be solution thinking, not problem thinking. And then render service. It's part of your solving problem. Render service. You don't have to create the problem for you to solve it. And like I said, if you are not solving the problem, you become part of the problem to be solved. As simple as that. And the third thing in to solve problems is that it gives you a satisfaction. See, the kind of satisfaction you get when you solve problems cannot be gotten any other way. Cannot be gotten any other way. Cannot be gotten any other way. And then the third thing in this simple life hacks part 2 is the consciousness of goodness and mercy. Just have that consciousness. And every day you enjoy goodness, you enjoy mercy. Just have that consciousness. It changes everything for you. So, guys, this is it. This is where we draw the curtain for today. So, if anybody has a question, feel free. We still have like a few minutes left, 1 or 2 minutes. Ask your questions at this point so we can take. If you have any question, just ask so we can take your question right now. Just ask. If you have any question, just ask so that we can take your question briefly and then we'll call it a wrap for today. I want to appreciate all of you who are joined. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so very much for joining on the conversation today on simple life hacks. Now, there's going to be 2 parts. Next week, we're going to have another conversation entirely, but I'm glad that you've learned something from this simple life hacks part 1 and part 2 because they would really help you. They will really help you just to hack your life. Like, it just helps you become a better person with your own life. Literally, become a better person with your own life. It just helps you. Right? And for this part 2, just in case you missed part 1, it's still on the YouTube channel. You can go back and watch it. It was done last Friday. So you can go back and watch it for part 1. For part 2, we just shared basic 3 things that would help you to hack your life. Number 1, to make sacrifice. Number 2, to solve problems. And number 3, to have the consciousness of goodness and mercy. Have the consciousness of goodness and mercy. Just have that consciousness. Wherever you go, goodness and mercy follows you. Right? Wherever you go, just have that consciousness. You don't need to know people. Just know that you know that goodness and mercy follows you. Goodness and mercy knows how to make you favored and loved and protected wherever you go. It's their responsibility. But you just have to be conscious of it to say, okay, goodness, mercy, do your thing. I'm here. Do your thing. You know that consciousness you have when you know you have a literal bodyguard. People are guarding you. And then things are happening. You step aside and let them step in to do what they are designed and assigned to do. Is that the same way? Just having the consciousness of goodness and mercy. That's the same way it plays out. There are times you just need to step back and say, okay, goodness, you got this. Mercy, you got this, right? Because you are conscious that they are with you. No wonder David could say, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits." Another point, he said, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, and his mercies endure forever." No wonder Naomi Rain could say, "Good God, oh, you be good God. You just dey show yourself. You be good God." I get it. Because goodness and mercy, they follow you. They're always there. Always there. They are never on public holidays. They're always there 247, 365. No public holidays. So, okay, goodness not around. Okay, mercy travel. No, no, no. They're always available 247, 365. No holidays. So have that consciousness. Things that are difficult, things that are tight, things that are not going as expected. Goodness and mercy are still here. They have not abandoned me. They cannot abandon me. They cannot. Even if they try, they cannot. They cannot. The prodigal son returning back home and the father still showing him love. That's goodness and mercy. He didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it. That's goodness and mercy. So, guys, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you who joined. Do well to share this with your friends, your families, your loved ones, and even your enemies. Share with them, right? That's a simple way to hack your life. Share with them. Just share with them because that will also help them to hack their own lives. Like we always say, guys, there's always more on the upgrade side of life. And that's why we encourage you that you leave good behind so that you can upgrade. And what simple way for you to upgrade is for you knowing this simple life hacks and practicing them in your life. It will change the trajectory of your life for you. Until we see you again next week, remember, it's always more on the upgrade side of life. So leave good behind so that you can upgrade. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Do well to share this, and we'll see you again in another conversation. Enjoy your day. God bless you.